What's up, everybody? So today I got it's a special type of video. It's not really like a fight prediction, or it kind of is based on past predictions, but it's basically MMA bias. What am I talking about? MMA bias is a disease, bro, and it really is. Like, and I know like a lot of you guys have this disease because I have that shit every time it's a big pay-per-view, bro. Every time. Every time it's a big card that has a lot of good fights, there's always one fight that's gonna make me fucking have this disease comes out. And this weekend it's fucking coming out again. I've noticed that like on a lot of my videos, I always be like, well, I think this guy's gonna win. Like my head tells me this guy, but my heart tells me that guy. You know what I'm saying? And it's not really that. It's just I'm biased. And it could be biased for different reasons. Like for example, this weekend, Izzy and Pereira, right? They're gonna fight, and my head tells me, you know what, bro? If you look at Izzy's fights, you know, even though he got knocked out, I just feel like Izzy's just gonna be the better fighter. You know what I'm saying? Even though like they're gonna kickbox, I still feel like Izzy's gonna be the better fighter, right? But then this bias in me wants me like Izzy to like lose just so we can see him get beat. You know what I mean? Because Pereira's coming up and he's kind of cool and shit. Like you just want him to get beat, you know. But then that's what my heart tells me. Like you want Pereira to win, but you kind of know that Izzy's gonna win. You know, not know, but you know, if you feel more secure, like if you had a bet, you would bet Izzy. And then you always end up just going, I got Pereira because this, and that. And you convince yourself that Pereira is going to win, right? Even though you think Izzy's going to win. And it happens all the time. And then this is even worse if you bet money. If you're a bettor on, any site, bro, this is the worst because you convince yourself that the guy that you think with your heart is going to win when it's most likely he's always underdog, and he ends up losing you some bread. This also happened with who did this happen with? Like with Usman, right? Well, I was trying to think of another example, but Usman and Leon Edwards. You're thinking, well, there's one guy that can make it happen. It's Leon Edwards because he's a well-rounded fighter. He has a way better striking than Usman. He's the length is like about the same. His wrestling is not bad. Like he kind of, because he has like solid wrestling. So you build this. You're like, all right, I think this is gonna be the guy. And then he ended up being the guy, but you realize your reaction when it happens, right? You convince yourself that he's gonna probably. Well, actually, I didn't convince myself for that one. I picked I think I picked Usman, but I was convincing myself that Leon was gonna win. Right? I was convincing myself I was about to get there, but I didn't fully get there, and I chose Usman. But that reaction when he actually won was like you're shocked, like oh shit, like you know what I mean. But there was another fight. Oh my, how could I forget? Charles Oliveira versus Makhachev. Bro, Charles Oliveira versus Makhachev. Let's be honest, bro. 90% of us knew in our head. 90% of us knew in our head. These fucking Dagestanis absolutely walk all over jiu-jitsu, right? We all know this. Khabib did this shit. Khabib, you have jiu-jitsu. Oh, that's cute. Let me just fucking eat you up for breakfast, bro. You know what I mean? Like, we know these guys are fucking stupid strong. Like, we know these guys are strong where, like, the submissions almost feel like they're not working. You know what I mean? We know this. Like, we know this. But Charles Oliveira's on this fucking streak. Crazy streak. He can't get beat. He looks like he's about to get beat in each of his fights, but he just manages to somehow pull it off and get the dub. So, we're like, Charles versus Makhachev. Everybody likes Charles, right? The way he talks. He just everything was cool about him. And then the Dagestanis, we didn't. Let's be honest. A lot of us didn't want the Dagestanis to be the champ, right? We didn't want Makhachev to be the champ for whatever reason, right? Whether because you like Charles or because you don't like their style, whatever it may be. A lot of us just like Charles. You just liked them more. So these are predictions. Who do you got? And there you go again. My head automatically knows. Like it low key knew like Makhachev was gonna win this fight. But somehow, some way, I convinced myself that Charles is gonna pull this off. I'm like, his jiu-jitsu's crazy, you know. He's long, he's long. His striking, he's real gritty. He could pop him. You know, you start thinking all these things like Makhachev has never faced nobody like this. Like, you start saying all these things that are true, but it's not gonna be enough. You know what I mean? Like yeah, he's long and the only thing that I did have was like maybe his submissions. He was gonna have submissions, but these guys are way too strong. But yeah, like, and you just become biased. You bet money on Charles, and you fucking lose it, right? It happens all the time, bro. All the time. It was gonna happen with Dustin and Chandler this weekend. Watch. Let's put it to the test. Let's put it to the test. Well, you can't really say because I feel Dustin is going to win. My head tells me Dustin is going to beat this guy up, knock him out. I already placed that bet. That's the safe bet. That's not my underdog. That's the safe bet. But I wanted Chandler to win, but I wasn't going to bet on Chandler, so that's not really a good example. But yeah, there's a lot of big fights where that tends to happen, and that shit's bad. Because a lot of us, we're just fans of the sport, so you don't want to give credit, or not that you don't want to give credit, but you want to really root for this guy. And then, you know what I'm saying? So that's the difference from like a analyst than like a fan. You know what I mean? So you gotta kind of find that. You can't be too much of a fan because then you're gonna be fully biased where you're gonna always convince yourself that this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna win, this guy's gonna win. If you're an analyst, most of the time you're gonna think with your head, you're gonna get more picks right. If you're in between, you're gonna be 50-50. You're gonna be like, some fights you're gonna be like, this guy got it because he's the best one. And then other times you're going to be like, this guy got it because I'm his biggest fan. But you won't say that. You'll find excuses to say that. But yeah, you know what other fight I was happening with that it really hurts my soul to say? Which I don't even know if I should say, is Nate Diaz versus Khamzat Chimaev. Well, right now, still in my head, there's no way Khamzat beats Diaz, right? But that's just me because I'm biased. In my head, I'm all right. Diaz got the jiu-jitsu. He I don't see Khamzat submitting him. Diaz is tough as fuck. He has good boxing. He can keep up with Khamzat on the stand-up. He could make something happen. You know what I mean? These are my things, bro. This is what I'm thinking. As an analyst, I don't even want to say what as an analyst I would say, but let's just say I'm still, there's like my brain can't process like Diaz losing that fight for some reason, you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of you that are not Diaz fans have something to say about that. So that's another instance of MMA bias, and that's like stage 4 because you can't even see the other side. That's like, yeah. Yeah, bro, there's a lot of fights that this happens with. Fucking, let's see what other fights gonna pop up. Like even the Makhachev Volkanovski. Well, that's a really good fight actually because Makhachev Volkanovski. I'd say I'm going for Volkanovski, but I know these fucking Dagestanis could grab anybody. But I do think Volkanovski is strong as shit. So I think I wouldn't say I'm being biased. I think it's just gonna be a good fight. You know what I mean? But yeah, bro. Like I know a lot of us. I know a lot of you guys have that too. But it just kind of makes it fun. I guess it just makes it fun going for the guy you're going for. Even though, unless you're betting, bro. If you're betting, bro, just bet on the safe pick. But then it sucks, right? Because the other part is like, all right, like let's say the Charles Makhachev, right? If my head tells me, all right, Makhachev is gonna win, but I'm really like, I'm not. I don't feel like rooting for Makhachev at all. I feel like going for Charles because I want Charles to pull it off, right? Now the fact that we were saying can Charles pull it off, and he's the champ, should have already told us something, right? Can Charles be the guy to finish it? Like, come on, bro. Like, shouldn't it be Makhachev finish Charles? Like, we should have already known. Everybody already knew, but you know, we didn't. We all like Charles. The thing is, like, if you bet money on so let's say I don't want to bet for. I mean, I don't want to root for Makhachev at all. I'm going for Charles all the way in. But then I know, like, now I gotta bet. So am I gonna bet on Charles or because I'm going for him, or am I betting on Islam because I think he's gonna win? Now let's say I bet on Charles. So okay, so now I'm betting on Charles. I'm watching the fight, like, come on, Charles, let's go. I got money on you, let's go. All right, cool. But let's say you bet on Islam and you're going for Charles. Now it's like you're just stuck in the middle. You're not, because you're here for the money, but you're here for like rooting for him because you like him, and now you're just stuck in the middle watching a fight emotionless because you can't either go for this guy, but you can't go for this guy because you have money, but then you're just a fan and you're just stuck in here emotionless. So it's like, it's hard to bet against someone that even though you know they're gonna win, but you go for the other guy. It's like, it kind of takes the fun out of the fight. You know what I mean? And yeah, bro. But like, even after that fight, that Charles and Makhachev, when the fight finished, it was just like, it was in the morning, right? So it finished like around like what, 3 or something like that. It just felt like a bad day, you know, not a bad day, but it just felt like it looked like a it was a bitter ending. You know what I mean? Like, like, all right, what are we gonna do now? You know what I mean? Like, cause you were rooting for Charles so hard, but then it's like, why did I even let myself root for this guy so hard? Like that's my fault. You know what I mean? Cause I knew this guy was gonna fucking win, but I think that fight was bigger in my head than it just seemed like one of those big fights, and it just turned out to not be, you know. But yeah, that's it. I'm gonna drop another video for the predictions for this fight, for this fight week for Pereira and all these guys. So stay tuned in for the next video. Peace.